Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So we welcome you all on this Friday Bhakti session. So we are on the topic, since Janmashtami is coming, we are getting into the mood of listening to Krishna stories. So Krishna stories, we started off last week with Sudama. So will you recollect what did we learn from last session?
Nine qualities, qualification.
Six,
Nine qualities. Then first year will be the qualification. Yeah, last time we discussed qualification. Qualification again divided into six.
Yes.
Six story. Then the chapter first stage as about the qualities.
Yeah.
But
So
I want to ask one question. When we could see, is it qualities or qualification?
Which one?
Qualification. See, there is a subtle difference. See, if you take diamond's quality, it's very hard.
Yes.
But because of the hardness of the quality, it is qualified to do, maybe with the jewelry or so. So there is quality gives you a qualification to do something.
Yeah. But where is the difference? Actually, we discussed last time was the qualities of Sudama only. Yeah, qualities of Sudama. Actually, we started off with this entire narration of Sudama and Krishna story. That is, the recollection. We divided the entire story into 9 sections. So we divided the entire story into 9 sections. First was qualification of Sudama. Second was conditions of Sudama and his wife, which is they are in the Grihastha life. Then there is a conversation between Sudama and his wife. Then there is a contemplation by Sudama on the form of the Lord. Then a preparation by Sudama to visit his friend and Lord Krishna. Then commutation. Commutation. How he commutes and what he thinks during that commutation, what all things happen. So commutation to Dwarika. And then reception by Lord Krishna. That is the 7th. Then recollection of Sudama and Krishna's Gurukul pastimes. 8th. And then last but not the least, the reciprocation of Lord Krishna to Sudama. So I said probably this would take 3 to 4 weeks to complete this all 9 sections. Last time we could do only was the first section. What was the first section? Qualification of Sudama. And that was what the shlok from Srimad Bhagavatam. We took shlok number 6 of chapter 80. So what were the 6 qualities? Krishnasya Sakha first. Then Brahmana. Like it can go with
by deeds.
Okay, by Brahmana, by deeds. And then Brahma Vittama, that is knower of that jnana, right? Knowing the nishkarsh of that jnana. Then in Virakta Indriyarteshu. Yeah, controlling of the senses. Then Prashantatma. Okay. And finally was Jitendriya. One Prashantatma is who is peaceful at his mind. And Virakta Indriyarteshu, one who is detached from his senses. And Jitendriya means one who has conquered his mind or subdued his senses. So we discussed all these steps in detail. So we discussed he was Brahmana not by, by his birth. Means okay, by birth he was, but he was Brahmana by his deeds. And out of which we said one important point was, if we have one quality, rest all automatically would come. And what was that? Krishna Sasya Sakha. If you are, so this one quality is much, much more important in Sudama. The rest 5 qualities automatically comes. Brahmana, Brahma Vittama, Virakta Indriyarteshu, Jitendriya or Prashantatma. All those automatically comes, and we discussed. Why, Brahmana, when we say Brahmana, how? By birth, by karma, all those we discussed. Brahma Vittama, we discussed. Knowing the एसेंस। ओए क्या हो गया आज? आज कोई बच्चे नहीं है? काई करी? काई करी?
गाड़ी चाहिए गाड़ी।
गाड़ी। अरे कृष्ण। सो पूरे 6 क्वालिटीज के बाद में, सो वी गेव दिस लेसन ऑल्सो, व्हाट द टॉपिक एज rags to riches, right? Or we can say as poverty to prosperity. That was also the topic which was given to this entire section. So today we are on the second section. I have given the shlokas in the group. We'll pray to the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloker Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtakim Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Govindaya Namo Namah Govindaya Namo Namah. Canto 10, Chapter 80, Shlok 7. Yadṛcchayopapannena vartamāno gṛhāśramī tasya bhāryā ku-cailasya kṣut-kṣāmā ca tathā-vidhā yadṛcchayopapannena vartamāno gṛhāśramī tasya bhāryā ku-cailasya kṣut-kṣāmā ca tathā-vidhā. कोई एक प्रभु जी ले सकते हैं? यदृच्छयोपपन्नेन
vartamāno gṛhāśramī
वर्तमानो गृहाश्रमी
tasya bhāryā ku-cailasya
तस्य भार्या कुचैलस्य
kṣut-kṣāmā ca tathā-vidhā
kṣut-kṣāmā च tathā-vidhā. Hare Krishna. Translation. Living as a householder, he maintained himself with whatever came to its own accord. The wife of that poorly dressed Brahmana suffered along with him and was emaciated from hunger. Pati-vratā patiṁ prāha mlāyatā vadanena sa daridraṁ sīdamānā vai vepamānābhigamya ca. Repeat कीजिए कोई.
पतिव्रता पतिं प्राहं
पतिव्रता patiṁ prāha mlāyatā vadanena sa
दरिद्रं सिदमाना वै
daridraṁ sīdamānā vai
vepamānābhigamya च
vepamānābhigamya ca. Translation. Repeat after me. The chaste wife of the poverty-stricken Brahmana once approached him, her face dried up because of her distress. Trembling with fear, she spoke as follows. Hare Krishna. So, we'll take up this look at the other one later on. So, this is the continuation of shlokas, and it gives very important, this Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes Sudama and his wife. Wife's name was Sushila. I forgot to tell you, right? Sudama's wife name was Sushila. So they were living in very abject poverty. Being a grihastha, a householder, it is natural that one means, when one has a family, one has kids, one has a socio-economic responsibility. And it is but natural that the man has to do something for the family as a grihastha. He must have to work, okay? Or he must have some profession in order to earn his livelihood and maintain his family and the offsprings, like all the children. So for a grihastha, it is very, very much required. So this actually portion gives us very important lessons, and that is why I took up this. It gives up almost a devotee should aspire. So that is why this section I took before. We took many fascinating leelas last time, but this time I said let me take some informative leela, and that is how I chose this. So for a monk or a sadhu, कोई साधु व्यक्ति के लिए, or who lives as a brahmachari, or he is living as a sannyasi, he does not have to work, right? He does not have to work. Even if he doesn't work, it is no problem for him, because monks or sadhus give up work so that they become monks, right? They give up work so that they become monks. And you see many ISKCON, you have many IITians and IIMs and all those studied have become brahmacharis and devotees. So they give up their work in order to become brahmachari or sannyasi, so they give up their work. उनको फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, परंतु गृहस्थ, when you are in a गृहस्थ family, wife and legally married wife and children, because today's scenario is very different, so that's why I have to say with what we do for becoming a brahmana. What was the important point we said? Huh? Yes. नहीं वो तो है. He becomes brahmana by no karma. I said one word you used, by purification, है ना? क्योंकि जन्म से कोई ब्राह्मण नहीं हो, जन्मना जायते शूद्रो, हाँ? फिर उसके बाद में द्विजय बनते हैं, फिर क्वालिफिकेशन गुरु उसको द्विजय बनाता है बाय गिविंग थ्रेड सेरेमनी एंड ऑल दो, द्विजय बनाता है, एंड देन फिर वो अपना लाइवलीहुड के लिए, हाँ, फिर वो वेद कथा वगैरह, वेद पाठ वगैरह पढ़ना शुरू करता है, तब जाके वो ब्राह्मण, विप्र बनता है, और उसके बाद में ब्राह्मण बनता है. And we also discussed if one becomes a Vaishnava, he is automatically a Brahmana because he has to follow all this. So, Grihastha family cannot afford to do that, like in monks, सब कुछ छोड़ दो और आराम से जिंदगी गुजर बसर कर लो. They cannot afford to do that. They have to earn to maintain their family. So, Sudama was, however, a self-satisfied Brahmana. Brahma Vittama and self-satisfied Brahmana in Virakta Indriyartheshu. We had heard his quality, right? So he was already a self-satisfied Brahmana. He said, why work when whatever comes is by the grace of the Supreme Lord Krishna? We don't have to work. I'll ask some bhiksha. Whatever comes as a bhiksha, that's more than enough for me and my family. I'm taking care of it. That's sufficient. So why should I work hard enough to maintain my family? So, imagine now you're all living in Jeddah and you want to become a monk. Will you be able to suffice with all these expenses? Okay, Jeddah is okay, so we'll say it's a less costlier city. We go to more costlier cities like London. Okay, it's a third expensive city, right? Tokyo. They are all expensive cities. Huh? Switzerland, they're all Moscow, all those are very, very expensive cities. So can you think about this? As a grihastha, can you think about it? That, what will come is Krishna's way, we don't have to work. You cannot afford that, right? So here Sudama is thinking, why should I work? I am a Brahmana and I should just satisfy Krishna. And if I take care of Krishna, then everything will be taken care of my family. So it was obvious, because of this, they were in abject poverty. They were in abject poverty. Abject in the sense like too much poor. And Sudama's wife also was the same, because Sudama was poor, Sudama's wife also was in abject poverty, so none of them were dressed up in, like Armani clothes or, Raymond's clothes or, Mark Spencer clothes. No. They were dressed up in what? Today's shloka says they were dressed up in ragged clothes, torn clothes. फटे पुराने कपड़े होते हैं ना, torn clothes. And Sudama's wife was emaciated with hunger. Emaciated is a word used specifically the weakness which comes on your body due to hunger. You have seen, some country where there was drought, Somal? Yeah, that's what. So there was drought, and how people used to look emaciated. Emaciated. So, automatically you get that sympathy feeling out of it, so such kind of face. So by looking at them, automatically sympathy would arise in somebody's heart. So Sudama's wife was thinking, that's what she said, today's, when we read the translation, she said, she was thinking, what should I do? In this emaciated stage, with the distrustful face, Srila Prabhupada, it has been written by Sukadeva Goswami that she approached her husband Sudama. And she approached her husband Sudama to say her something. What was to say her something? My dear husband, it is but natural that we have to do something in our life. So it would not be a bad idea that at this stage you should go and meet your friend Krishna, who is in Dwarka. Of course, that shloka we did not read, but all the shlokas we cannot read, so that's the reason So, what she meant was, now it is time that, you should, you have been speaking about your very good friend, Krishna. So, she did not say Krishna, she said, just you have to go and meet your friend, who lives in Dwarika. So, so everyone knows where they lived. Sudama and his wife, where did they live? In Gujarat? Gujarati છો તમે ના ખબર? Sudama's ashram is also there. Porbandar. Gandhiji जहाँ से आए हैं. So Sudama and his wife used to live in Porbandar. Porbandar. पोरबंदर से वे अवंती में आश्रम में पढ़ने आए थे, वो अलग बात है. So they used to stay in Porbandar, and from Porbandar, that is poor Bandar, where they were very poor, Dwarika was how far? Yeah, but even if you go by car or even if you go by, so it takes 3 hours, right? Dwarika, Porbandar से द्वारका जाना है ना. सुदामा की कथा चल रही है. सुदामा and his wife were from Porbandar. गए आप वहाँ? मैं भी गया हूँ. I have been to their ashram. हाँ है, मतलब वो उस समय का नहीं है, लेकिन आज बनाया हुआ. सुदामा और उनकी पत्नी यहाँ रहती थी बोल के ऐसा. हाँ तो नहीं तो बनाया हुआ है. So it takes 2-3 hours from Dwarika. You also been?
No.
And but in those days when they used to go by walk, it used to take a lot of time. Okay, 7-8 hours minimum. या जो भी है 8-10 घंटे लगते थे. So that's what Sudama's wife said. You should go and meet Krishna. So you all are understanding, right? The condition of Sudama and his wife: poor, emaciated, and distressed, wearing torn clothes, ragged clothes. Of course, I also have one of the jeans which is ragged, but those are designer clothes. Those are designer clothes. So Sudama and his wife were in really torn clothes. So in this absolute poverty, Sudama's wife has approached and asked Sudama to go and meet Krishna. Now this scenario, how do you understand? She's asking her husband to go, Sudama to go and meet Krishna. So we understand two important, powerful lessons from this. When she's saying this, you should go and meet Krishna, we understand two important lessons. First important lesson is that one should never be judgmental. One should never be judgmental. Very often in our life, in haste, we take decisions. We become judgmental. We start judging people by their words, by their behavior, by what they say, or how they look like. We start judging them. So we should not take decisions in haste. That is what is the lesson. If some starts thinking like Sudama's wife and contemplates on the words what Sudama's wife has said, then one may become judgmental that this lady is a selfish lady. For herself, she is asking, because she is so much emaciated, she is asking Sudama to go and meet Krishna. They may think that she may need items for gratification of herself. Okay? Maybe torn clothes, torn saris. So maybe she need good saris. Maybe she need good jewelry. Maybe good roti sabji, or rice to eat. Or a nice car to travel, or not car those days, a good buggy, whatever, ghoda gadi to travel. So that's why she is requesting Sudama that you go and meet your friend. So it is not something uncommon, right? In our daily life also we see such examples. Judgmental things. We stay in a single BHK. We shift to 2 BHK. We work very hard for our family. We may have a small car like Maruti. We may want to have now BMW. और क्या Ferrari क्या आजकल तो पता नहीं बहुत कुछ है. We may be eating in clay plates. We want to eat in good plates. Okay, maybe steel, because pital is also costly nowadays. Otherwise, people used to eat in pital before, which was much better. हाँ लेकिन चोरी ज्यादा हो जाता है. हाँ घर पे तो ठीक है, नौकरानी आएगी चोरियां हो जाएगी, पता चल जाता है. हमारे तो हो जाता है था तो पता नहीं चलता है. तो पीतल तो लोग देखते ही नहीं छोड़ते हैं आजकल, सोना ही समझ के ले आते हैं. या फिर थोड़ा बहुत और बढ़ गए तो आप चांदी के बर्तनों में भी खाना चाहोगे ना. सो वी बिकम जजमेंटल थिंग्स. So why? So then we may think, okay, why to worry? Krishna is there. We'll go to the temple. Okay, pray to Krishna, and Krishna will give all these things. And why should we worry at all? So what I meant here is becoming judgmental based on someone's words. We start drawing conclusions. But understand here, Sudama's wife was requesting Sudama to go because she did not want any sari, she did not want any pizza, sabji roti when I say that is mixed in pizza, she did not want any pizza. She was in fact a selfless lady. She was in fact a selfless lady. But she could not see her husband starving so much for and striving so much for the family, where he could get very less. And all of us were emaciated. I don't mind myself becoming lean and weak, but my poor husband, he goes out, brings bhiksha for the entire family. He walks a lot. He does so much of kirtan. And he's also in an emaciated condition. She did not like that, like Because of that, she said, you just need to go and meet your friend Krishna. So with that words that, we cannot conclude that she wanted some Kanjivaram saris or, Tribhuvan Das Bhimji jewelers necklace and all those. Nothing like that. She was a very simple lady, a chaste lady. What happens sometimes, if you tell directly, go and ask your friend, Sudama feel bad. And equally, she may hurt Sudama's feeling. That is the reason, in a calculative way, she is saying, just go and meet your friend Krishna. Therefore, to conclude, on simply judging people, what we say could sometimes be wrong. She was not bothered about herself, but bothered about her husband. For example, I take an example of a teacher and a student. Student, for example, Arul is here sitting, right? So, Arul is gone to the school and maths teacher comes. Maths teacher comes with 3 mangoes and says, Arul, take this one mango, this one mango, this one mango. And asks Arul, how many mangoes do you have? Okay. But Arul says 4. Arul says 4. Again, the teacher asks, putting on the table, this is one mango, this is one mango. How many mangoes you have? Again 4. मदर भी आई हुई होती है उसकी, पेरेंट टीचर मीटिंग होता है ना कभी मदर भी आई हुई होती है. मदर को बोलती है, देखो सिंपल मैथ्स, योर स्टूडेंट योर किड डजंट नो. आई एम शोइंग हर these apples and asking how many are these, and he says 4. मदर भी परेशान हो जाती है. She said, उसको शायद स्ट्रॉबेरीज ज्यादा पसंद है, मैंगोज कम पसंद है. No, but I am the maths teacher, I want to know the maths, and he is saying 4. So looking at this all galata, Arul from his bag removes one more mango and places on the table. So teacher was asking, I am giving you these 3 mangoes, how many you will have? He says 4, and he was not wrong because he already had 1. He already had 1. So in this way, the teacher was also shocked. Like, she went to the extent of complaining the mother. She went to the extent, this fellow is a dumb. He doesn't understand anything, without knowing the complete details. She was becoming judgmental. This is the example of becoming judgmental. One more story of Jesus Christ. Probably how many of you know, probably like, Jesus Christ left Israel. Sorry, he was from Israel and he left Jerusalem, right? That is also in Israel. So he left Jerusalem and at the age of 13, and he returned back to Jerusalem at the age of 30. He left at 13 and he came back at 30. And it is said, from the Christian priest only, it is said he was traveling to India. He had traveled to India. In fact, Christian priests themselves say that he had traveled to India. And it is right. It is confirmed in the writings. It is not that I'm telling out of my own. It is confirmed in the writings. And it is also said that in India, he spent maximum time in Jagannath Puri. In India, yeah. Maximum time he spent was in Jagannath Puri. And there, among the association of devotees, he was doing bhakti from outside. For the Jesus Christ, serving the Lord Jagannath. And being in India, he learned the powers, or he learned the philosophy to bring back dead to the life. बोलते हैं ना, क्राइस्ट ने जीवित किया. तो वो एक विद्या है ना, अपने पास जो विद्या आती है, संजीवनी विद्या है, जिससे मृत को जीवित किया जा सकता है. तो bring back the life. So there is an evidence given by the Christian priest that In any case, after his, this is the evidence that, given by the Christian priests only, that, he was in India and he learned uh, uh, the art of bringing back to life. He came back to Jerusalem at the age of 30, and was a huge temple in Jerusalem. Okay, the Jews of Israel, what was the temple? Temple was called Saint Hadrian, Saint Hadrian. बड़ा टेम्पल था वो जूस का वो जमाने में, अभी तो नहीं है. So where there used to be a lot of sacrifices of pigeons, lambs, and many animals at the altar. At the altar. So Jesus came with the stake. He just blew away all those pigeons and removed all those animals, and by hitting them, and drew them away. And whatever was there, as in the altar, for the boxes, for the preparation, all those, he broke all those, which were meant for the sacrifice. So the priest over there said, we know you have come back after so many years and you are preaching very good things. We are also appreciative of your preaching, but by doing this act, what are you doing? You are disturbing us. What do you want to do? So this is what is surprising us. Why are you doing this? Then Jesus says, I will break this temple and rebuild it again in 3 days. So the priest says, during King Solomon's time, it took almost, months, years to construct this temple, and you say you will break it and rebuild it in 3 days' time? So Jesus says, yes, the temple is a place of God where he lives. That cannot be broken. The temple is a place of God. That cannot be broken. What I meant to say, I will break down these rituals of killing your animals. I'll break down your rituals of killing animals. Within 3 days, establish a true religion. So he did not literally mean that, I'll break down this temple and reconstruct it. He said, whatever practices you're doing in this temple, they are not worthy of it. I will break those practices and rebuild a true religion. And that is what Christianity and all those say. So one of the reason why he was crucified was also the allegation was that, he wanted to break this Saint Hadrian, and bring it in. So the motive was not to break the temple, but motive was to break the ritual and make more people spiritual. So people could not understand that. And then they crucified him. Okay. So how many of you gone through this in your experience in your life? Okay, I took these 2 examples. How many of you come to your conclusion based on something, someone has said something without understanding the motives? Almost everybody. सभी लोगों के साथ हुआ है कुछ न कुछ गलतफहमी. हमने सोचा नहीं था, हमने ये सोचा था, ऐसा हो गया, वैसा हो गया. And how many of you judged the people in such way? Almost every one of us, without understanding the motives. Therefore, one of the saints said, seek not to be loved. Seek to love. Seek not to be loved, but seek to love. Seek not to be forgiven, seek to forgive. And seek not to be understood, but seek to understand. That's why these wise words are always repeated in Christian philosophy or, in English literatures. But what happens with us? We do not want to understand others. And there is always a misunderstanding between us. अभी तो मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग कुछ और है. कॉलेज के जमाने में मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग नीचे खड़ी है, ऐसा अंडरस्टैंडिंग रहता है. उसका लिटरल मीनिंग. So we should not be judgmental and conclude things. That is what it is. An example is like that Bagula Bhagat. बगुला भगत है ना. बगुला क्या करता है? कोई सन्यासी या है, वो भी ध्यान में मगन रहता है. और बगुला भी एक टांग पे खड़ा होता है. और कोई ध्यान ध्यान योगी भी क्या होता है? एक टांग पे खड़ा होकर ध्यान करता है ना. डिफरेंस क्या है दोनों में? बगला एक टांग पे खड़े होके क्या कर रहा है? मछली का इंतजार कर रहा है. आता है और मछली खा जाऊंगा. और योगी किसी को पाने का इंतजार कर रहा है ना. कुछ ट्रुथ को पाने का इंतजार कर रहा है. सो वो दोनों में डिफरेंस है. सो we also will have so many, like we find so many babas in the form of Bagla Bhagat. That is also a different issue. We also find so many babas in the form of this Bagla Bhagats. We call them, that's why that term Bagla Bhagat had come. क्यों Bagla योग मुद्रा में खड़ा नहीं होता है, वो अपना शिकार करने के लिए खड़ा होता है. तो वैसे ही बगला भगत भी है ना, अच्छे से मोटे से कोई देखता है डिसाइपल के पास खूब कार है, खूब बंगला है, गाड़ी है, खूब सोने की अंगूठियां पहन रखा है, तो उसको कैसे अंदर करे, है ना. कुछ जादू मंत्र दिखा के अंदर करना, तो बगला भगत. सो वी हैव टू, so we should not be judgmental. As a grihastha, because what happened, by this Bagla Bhagat attitude, what will happen? Things which are seeming to be material, we think it as spiritual, है ना. कोई जादू मंत्र दिखा दिया और बोल दिया कि ये करते रहो, या ये बस ये करते रहो, मेरे नाम का जाप करते रहो, है ना. It becomes spiritual. And the things which are seemingly spiritual, we term it to be as material. We had already understood this when we Veda, Vadarata and all those, when we understood those terms. So that's why those words. So external words sometimes may not be, external behavior, external words and external appearance may sometimes be misleading. You need to understand the motives. Of course, understanding motives is also very difficult. Huh? One who is destined to get dhoka will get dhoka. So that was the first lesson. Second lesson out of this attitude, out of this behavior shown by Sudama's wife. Second lesson is that Sudama was fully dependent on Krishna. Whatever Krishna sends, Sudama will be happy. So if today Sudama has got a good bhiksha, he will have good food. Today he's got a good maida and kalamata, olives and cheese toppings and everything. Okay, he can prepare a pizza and also he can eat variety. But if he has nothing, he have nothing also. So Krishna's grace, everything worked for him. So all is good to listen. All is good to listen. Is it okay for all of us? Is it okay for all of us? No. For Sudama, it was not a problem. Come what may, I will be happy. But Sudama's wife had a problem. She could not see the family being struggling for hunger. And that is why she approached Sudama to go and meet Krishna. Of course, he knew he is so advanced. Ananyas chintayanto ma ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9.27. So that life means Krishna actually is a life insurer. In fact, for everybody. Krishna is a life insurer. So he is an insurance man. So he says with that one pointed devotion, he says that, I preserve what you have and I carry what you lack. So he may carry what he lacks, and Sudama is not bothered. But we are in a grihastha life and all these things matters to us. Being a wife, I cannot see this. You know that Arjun Acharya story also on this, right? Arjun Acharya की भी story आप लोगों को बताएं, जो भगवद गीता के ऊपर 3 लाइन डालते हैं, thinking that Krishna might have wrongly said this, Ananyas chintayanto ma, how does he take care of his devotee? Something is wrong, and he underlines 3 lines, and he says in the evening I'll come and think about it. And I am not even getting bhiksha. Sometimes I am unable to eat. Arjun Shastri, he thinks, maybe, and he writes per parts. He says something is wrong here, and he underlines 3 times. And he goes for bhiksha. Later on, behind, two brothers come with a basket full of food and अन्न धान सब कुछ लेके आते हैं, है ना? हरे कृष्णा, वेलकम टू हरे। सो अन्न और सब लेके आते हैं और उसको देते हैं। फिर उनकी जब वो टोकरी उतारती है, अर्जुन शास्त्री की वाइफ तो देखती है उनके पीठ के पीछे 3 मार्क हुए हुए हैं। तो बोलते ये मार्क कैसे हुए? तो बोलते ये आपके पति ने किए, है ना? तो वो जो अंडरलाइन किया था उन्होंने, वो भगवत गीता पे जो अंडरलाइन किया था वो और कहीं नहीं, भगवान के पीठ के ऊपर ही अंडरलाइन हुआ। तो वो 3 मार्क उनको जैसे किसी ने चाबुक से मारे हैं वैसा गिर गया। तो बोले आज मैं आने दो, उनको खबर लूंगी, बोले कैसा बच्चों को ऐसा पीट सकते हैं। वो तो चले आते हैं खूब सारा। और फिर अर्जुन शास्त्री आते हैं, आज कुछ भिक्षा मिली नहीं। तो बोलते क्या बात कर रहे हैं, आपने दो दो बच्चों को भेज दिया था, इतना सारा आ गया, धान की महीने भर तक खा सकते हैं हम। तो बोले कौन आ गए थे? तो बोले 2 लड़के आए थे, बोले ऐसा आके देखे गए। और बोले लेकिन एक काम आपने अच्छा नहीं किया, बोले उनको पीटा। तो कैसे पीटा? बोले आपने, इतने सुंदर दिखने वाले बालक है। तो वो पूछते कैसे दिखने थे वो बालक? तो बोलते एक सांवला था, एक गोरा था, बोले। तो वो अर्जुन पंडित है, वो मीन्स लाइक शास्त्र का वो लिखता है, समझ गया। बोले अरे कृष्ण बलराम आके गए, धन्य है तू, और तेरे को दर्शन मिले और तू उनको पहचान नहीं सकी। बोले आज मैं समझ गया, बोले आज मैंने 3 अंडरलाइन किए थे, ये उसका परिणाम है। बोले मैंने गलती कर दी, बोले भगवान के वाक्य के ऊपर डाउट कर दिया। So we are also trying to become like him, like Sudama. We are also trying to become like Sudama. Sometimes क्या है, सब देखा जाएगा, भगवान देख लेंगे। Sometimes when we become specially on the path of devotion, we sometimes tend to act this way. ठीक है, जो भी है कृष्णा देखेगा, भाई मुझे तो चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है। But we have to understand as a grihastha, householders cannot say that, Krishna will take care of them. Of course, he will take care. He is an insurance man, as I said you. Huh? But if you start thinking this way, wife will come and say, you have to go to the office. You cannot stay the story that, no, I heard the story of rags to riches from, prosper, means poverty to prosperity. So Krishna will take care of it. I don't have to go to office. So you cannot say that, because that is considered, you have to act. And that is what Krishna will say in Bhagavad Gita also. We'll come to that section. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan, right? You have to work. You have to do your duty. As a grahastha, it is your duty to take care of your wife and children. You have to. So, you have to work. And Sudama, okay, he was self-satisfied man, but he was a grahastha also. He has to understand that there are the needs of the family for children. He thinks, as I am self-satisfied, so are they self-satisfied. But children, they may not be able to digest the hunger. As a family man, he should take care of that. So, two things you have to bear in mind when you think karmanyevadikaraste. Two things you have to bear in mind: that my source of income is not my source of maintenance. Now you will say, how is it possible? My source of income is only my source of maintenance. But this is a principle. My source of income is not my source of maintenance. Where Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport of the story of a Mrigari in Chaitanya Charitamrita, hunter was hunting birds and earning his livelihood. Narad Muni came and he said, why are you doing this? You will get a lot of sin. He said, if I don't do this, then I will create more sin. I'll have to starve. My family have to starve. Then Narad Muni says, you go and ask your family whether they are going to take care of your sin. They are going to take भाग of your sin. तुम्हारा भाग लेंगे क्या पाप का? जाके पूछता है फैमिली को, बोलते नहीं लेंगे। भाई तुम कर रहे हो पाप तो तुम झेलो, हम क्यों झेलेंगे? हम तो तुम्हारे पत्नी बच्चे हैं, आपका काम है हमारे को संभालना। आप कोई पाप करके आ रहे हो तो हम वो क्यों झेलेंगे? Then he comes back, Narad Muni, and Narad Muni says, that is what I was saying. Nobody will take care. You will earn sin. So leave that. Krishna will take care. So the source of income is not source of your maintenance. You have earned your entire life. आप कमाते हो. Okay, livelihood के लिए, future livelihood के लिए. Okay, and save भी करते हो. अच्छा, safe में. One fine day thief will come and break the safe and take away all your savings. You invest in stock market. अपने stock market वाले भी आ गए अब. So you invest in stock market, thinking that when the market goes up and I will sell the sale and I'll become profitable. What will happen? One fine day, everything will go to the zero. Your whatever savings you made, that will go for, even in mutual funds also. You invest, market is down, whatever units you have, they will come down in value, they'll go up in value. Okay, there is risk. So everywhere there is a health crisis. You do whatever. You may save money for your hospital bills. You take insurances and keep. Suddenly something will not be applicable. ये नहीं टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन में छोटा क्लॉज लिखा हुआ था, ये तो मेरे को मिलेगा नहीं. या फिर पैसे बचा के रखे थे, कोई और सोर्स में लगा देना पड़ा, कोई और बीमार पड़ गया उसमें लगा देना पड़ा, और मेरी बीमारी का तो पैसा अटक गया. So this falling market, this burglary, this health crisis, are they in our hands? That is why we say the source of income cannot be the source of your maintenance. Krishna is the one who maintains us through our income. Krishna is the one who maintains us through our income. हाथी को मण भर भी देता है और चींटी को कण भर भी देता है. वो दया निधान सबकी सुध लेता है. ऐसा नहीं है कि सबकी सुध नहीं लेता है. देर सवेर सबकी सुध लेता है. बहुत बहुत समझने वाली बात है. So we should remember, we should work and remember this principle that Krishna will give the money and then we can maintain ourselves by Krishna's money only. That's why when we earn the income, we give it to Krishna first. And then Krishna will give it back to us to spend. This is the principle behind that. And second point is, what should be in the mind of a working householder while working? हम गाते हैं तन मन धन सब कुछ है तेरा, तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा. गाने के लिए तो हम गाते हैं, पर कितने लोग जीते हैं उसको? कितने लोग जीते हैं? उल्टा ऐसा बोलेंगे, तन मन धन सब कुछ है मेरा, प्रभु तुम्हारे पास जो है वो भी है मेरा. मेरा मुझको अर्पण क्या लागे तेरा. वैसा वैसा हम बिहेव करते हैं. So the second principle, Bhagavad Gita will also enumerate this. Nirashir nirmamo bhutva. Nirashir nirmamo bhutva. This is the term. The example of a cashier. Cashier doesn't, while counting the money, he will not think that, this cash belongs to me. He knows very well it belongs to whom. Otherwise, he'll be jailed. Similarly, as a grihastha, I am working for Krishna, and Krishna is giving us money because Krishna has given me family. I am working for Krishna and Krishna has given me money, and that is how Krishna maintains us. Through that money. We have to do our karma. कर्म हम छोड़ नहीं सकते. बहुत क्लियरली आएगा. कभी कभी कोई पूछ सकता है, Prabhu, in my family, no persons are not Krishna conscious devotees or people do not believe in Krishna. What should I do? Shall I take care of them? होता है ना, कोई दारू पीने वाला ही मिल जाता है बेटा. Will you take care of them or not?
Yes.
Yes, you have to take care. You have to take very good care of them. You have to take very good care of them and do extra efforts to see to him that they are becoming closer to Krishna. So a family man is thinking that I should use the money in the service of Krishna is not just to say tan man dhan hai sab kuch mera, rather it is for the tera, and we should be in that principle. So एग्जाम्पल ये एक रियाल और 1,000 का नोट है, इधर 500 का नोट है। हाईएस्ट कौन सा? 500 का ही है, ओके, हाँ। 1 रियाल का कॉइन है और 500 रियाल का नोट है। उन दोनों के बीच में एक बार वार्तालाप होता है कि 500 रियाल का नोट बोलता है, आई हैव बीन टू दुबई, आई हैव बीन टू लंदन, आई हैव बीन टू यूएस, आई हैव बीन टू व्हाट प्लेसेस एंड ऑल दोस। तो 1 रियाल बोलता है कि यू डोंट नो, okay, you have been to all those places, but I have been to such place where you can never be. Where you can never be. So what is that he says? Temple undi. So people, when they don't believe on that principle, नोटों को तो अपने पास रखेंगे और चिल्लरों को डालेंगे उंडी में, या फिर फटे पुराने नोट है उसको डालेंगे उंडी में। हमारे काम नहीं आ रहे, चलो भगवान के काम आ जाएंगे।
एक बार नरम भी डाल देते हैं।
हाँ?
नरम।
So, so it is very difficult to pull out. So you have to remember, भक्त लोगों को ये याद रखना चाहिए कि कलयुग money is the residence for this in Kalyuga, this money is residence for Kali to stay. So Kali is the age of quarrel, so it brings quarrel and conflicts. So this is the age which brings quarrel and conflicts. Because it is resided in that holded wealth, it should be purified. Because that if the wealth is holded, then definitely Kali will get attracted. And once Kali get attracted, it will not remain with you. So that is the reason why it has to be purified. Because when you earn that money with too much of negative vibrations, you earn that money. And those has to be purified in Krishna's service or his devotee service. And then when it becomes purified, it becomes the cause of your joy, prosperity and satisfaction. And that is what is the ill effect of holded health, holded wealth, inviting Kali.
Prabhuji,
Hmm.
is there any reference in any scripture?
Yes.
At least we have to donate certain fixed part of our income.
It is, Prabhu. You want me to tell?
And how much? Yeah.
50%. इंडिया में टैक्सेशन ऐसे नहीं आया है 50% टाइप का, पहले जो था 50% you have to use for Krishna service, 25% on yourself and family, and 25% for your relatives and future this thing. But हम लोग वो छोड़ दो, 1% भी कर दो तो बहुत है.
Universal law of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah. So scriptures are there. That is why you see why India had so many temples. People used to donate their earnings, and there used to be a lot of food. Nobody used to go emaciated. हाँ, अब देख लो कितना डोनेशन आ रहा है. So Srila Prabhupada had one of his followers. मैं इसके लिए वो पैसा का आया बात अभी. Srila Prabhupada had one of his followers. इसके लिए अभी कल ग्रुप में डाला था. Grandson of Henry Ford. Alfred Ford, his name was. So he came to Krishna consciousness, and Srila Prabhupada gave him the name Ambarish Dasa. Ambarish Dasa. So he is known as Ford man. So Srila Prabhupada, when he met him, said, "You are the son of an car company. You're grandson of Alfred Henry Ford." Then he says, "Yes." "Where is Henry Ford now?" So Alfred becomes surprised, like, what is this? Why is Srila Prabhupada asking me, like, where is Alfred? Where is Henry? He's already died long back. So he said, and he's asking why he's getting confused. So the Prabhupada said, do not get confused. This is what it is, this is the principle of life. Person goes, but the riches remains, and that riches you are, using in Krishna consciousness, which is very, very good. So, in that time, one more Balimardan Prabhu's wife comes in. Balimardan Prabhu the, unki wife, she was a daughter of Toyota. So Prabhupada used to call her Miss Toyota. Toyota ke, that's because these were the two biggest companies, Ford and Toyotas those days. So she was Toyota's daughter, and she was also a devotee. So these both car owner company devotees, Alfred like Ford, that is Ambarish Dasa, and this Toyota's daughter also, Balimardhan Prabhu's wife. She was her name is not, I didn't write maybe. So these both were beautifully serving Krishna, though they were competitors in the market. They were good competitors. But see the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Amongst the competition, both are serving Krishna in front of Srila Prabhupada and are like friends. You know, like car competitors, how do they live sometimes? So this is the beauty. So he is the same person, Ambarish Dasha, who has donated more than 60% of his, Mayapur temple, which is crores of money which has been spent in Mayapur temple. It is yet to be opened next year. So more than 50-60% of the income has come from Ambarish Prabhu. And that's why he want to just see till the opening of that temple. And that is why that prayers requested yesterday when Arun Prabhu had put. I had seen it later on. Then I said, yeah, it is good. Like, so Ambarish Dasa. And it's like, similarly, we have George Harrison. Beatles. He was a big man. And he said, Srila Prabhupada, shall I leave everything and come to you? He said, no, you earn money. And if you have that money, then you spend it for Krishna. And that is how he gave 80 acres of his land and money and he donated to London's temple. Radha Londonishwar is staying in that. Radha Gokulanand. The 80-acre farmland.
Watford.
Yeah, Watford. Yeah, so that's the farmland. So they were given, and see how glorious death he got. At the time of death, people were chanting, and amongst chanting and kirtan, he left his body. Glorious death. So classic example how money can be used best for the purpose. So that doesn't mean that हम भी George Harrison हो जाए या फिर Ambarish Dasa हो जाए. Ambarish Dasa had many properties, or Harrison had many properties, out of which he donated one property to ISKCON. If we have many properties, we can do that. But if we have one property, we maintain that. That's it. That is Krishna's property, you maintain that. So you cannot, so that's why, so we cannot in any way artificially behave like Sudama. Sudama was on altogether different plane. We heard his qualities. We cannot altogether become like Sudama just by artificially behaving. मैं भी भक्त हो गया हूँ, मैं भी ये हो गया हूँ, कृष्णा जो करेगा करेगा, मैं काम नहीं करूँ चलेगा ना. काम तो करना ही है, ये नहीं तो कुछ और करना है. ठीक है, गृहस्थी को संभालने के लिए. We'll come to third point. Conversation between Sudama and his wife. Sudama, wife says, go to your friend and meet him. Maybe he'll give you something. That's what, right? Nanu Brahman Bhagavata. एक है श्लोक और एक और दिया मैंने. ननु ब्रह्मन् भगवत सखा साक्षात् श्रियपति ब्रह्मण्यश्च शरण्यश्च भगवान् सात्वतर्षभ. Read one of them.
Nanu Brahman Bhagavata.
Nanu Brahman Bhagavata.
Sakha Sakshat Shriyapati.
Sakha Sakshat Shriyapati.
Brahmanyascha Sharanyascha.
Brahmanyascha Sharanyascha.
Sattvavat Shashtava.
Bhagavan Sattvatarshava. Translation. Repeat after me. Sudama's wife said, O Brahmana, isn't it true that the husband of the goddess of fortune is the personal friend of your exalted self, that greatest of Yadavas, the Supreme Lord Krishna is compassionate to Brahmanas and very willing to grant them his shelter. So this is what Sudama's wife said, na? Sudama's wife said. So this is what Sudama's wife was saying. So Sudama's wife was saying, first she said, go and meet your friend. And Sudama was thinking, what friend? All my friends are like me only. I am a poor, living in poor bandar. All my friends are also poor and living in poor bandar. Like poor fellow will have poor friends. Rich fellow will have rich friends. So all are like me only, papas. All are like, taking the bhiksha and having prasad. So which friend are you talking about? A drunkard will have a drunkard friend. So that is what they say. Easily association matters, we say, Like a beggar will have beggar friend. Why? Because in that, Bombay, right? Bombay is very notorious for gangsters, right? Maybe in your country also, maybe there is some gangsters. So Bombay is very notorious for gangsters. So when one area has been divided for one gang, one beggar will say, this Dadar is my area. Huh? Yeah. And that western suburb will say that area is mine. Now, galti se wahan ka koi beggar yahan aa gaya, then they will have a big fight. This is not your area. Why are you poaching our area? Huh? So, तो सुदामा वही बोल रहा है, भाई मैं बेगर हूं तो सभी बेगर ही है, तो मैं किसके पास जाके क्या बात करूं? So Sudama says, अरे भाई तेरे ये पुअर बंदर के पुअर फ्रेंड्स नहीं चाहिए मुझे बोले. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट योर पुअर बंदर्स पुअर फ्रेंड्स. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट योर फ्रेंड फ्रॉम द्वारिका. He says द्वारिका, yeah. She says yes, the श्रीपति है ना, अभी श्लोक में आया था ना, श्रीपति. हाँ, ननु ब्रह्मन भगवत सखा साक्षात श्रीयपति. हाँ, श्री के प्रति, श्री के पति. तो बोले मैं उस श्रीपति के बारे में बात कर रही हूं, लक्ष्मी के पति. So Lakshmipati, husband of goddess of fortune. So, entire world goes behind Lakshmi, right? Entire world goes behind Lakshmi. दिवाली के दिन हम आरती भी गाते हैं. जिस दिन क्या गाते हैं? जिस घर तुम रहती तहाँ सद्गुणाता दुख दारिद्र दूर जाता. What all we sing, right? दरिद्रता नहीं आती है, ये नहीं आती, बहुत कुछ भी सिंग गाते भी हम दिवाली पे. ऐसा फ्रेंड्स नहीं, मैं ऐसे एक श्रीपति के बारे में बोल रही हूँ, आपके फ्रेंड श्रीपति के बारे में बोल रहा हूँ. उनको जाके आप मिलो, हो सकता है ब्लेस ही कर दे ना. कि शी सेज ब्रह्मणश्च ननु ब्रह्मन भगवत सखा. आपके फ्रेंड साक्षात श्रीपति जो स्वयं ये है, आपको जाके शायद हो सकता है कि कुछ ब्लेस कर देंगे आपको, कि आप तो पैसे मांगने वाले हो, नहीं पता है मेरे को, आपको जाके ब्लेस कर देंगे. सो Krishna can understand, right? How many of you remember the fruit seller story in Vrindavan? What did Krishna do?
And one day the fruit seller gave him some fruit, then he gave, and when he gave and he grain to him, then the mangoes automatically takes to him.
So the fruit seller came to sell fruits, and Krishna says, "I want fruit." So she was very happy, but she said, "I cannot give like this freely. You have to bring something from your home." So he brings what? राइस. नहीं ना, राइस की मुट्ठी लाते हैं, वो आधी मुट्ठी नीचे ही गिर जाते हैं, एक दो दाने गिरते हैं उसमें. फिर जाते हैं, फिर लाते हैं, एक दो दाने आते हैं. तो फिर लेकिन वो इतनी खुश हो जाती है वो, कि वो सारे फ्रूट्स देती है कृष्णा को, कमली में बांध देती है, इधर रख देती है, हाथ में पकड़ा देती है, ऐसा करती है, पूरा फ्रूट देती है उसको, बास्केट खाली कर देती है, और वो राइस के 2-4 टुकड़े लेके निकलती है. और रास्ते में जाके रास्ते में देखती है भारी क्यों हो गया है. एंड व्हेन शी रियलाइजेस, when she brings it down and she sees full of ornaments, lot of jewels, precious jewels. So Krishna not only materially filled the precious jewels, but also filled bhakti in her heart. Because out of compassion only she could, a form of Lord, she was so attractive that she gave everything and did not expect anything. That is what is bhakti, कर्मण्यवाधिकारस्य, that is what we are going to read in the going period time. Like हमको सकाम कर्म में मतलब नहीं रखना चाहिए, हमें निष्काम कर्म करना चाहिए ना। तो निष्काम कर्म को इसीलिए भक्ति हम कहते हैं। तो he gave bhakti in her heart. So that's the big spiritual wealth. So that's why Sudama's wife is asking, just go to that Sripati. Maybe you will not ask anything, but if he wants to grant, he will grant whatever he wants. That kind of confidence. So यही एक कारण है, हम लोग भी बोलते हैं ना, भी आप आओ तो सही, मंदिर दर्शन तो करने आओ, क्लास तो सुनने आओ, प्रसाद खाने मिल जाएगा। इसी बहाने पता नहीं कब किसकी कहाँ नजर लग जाए, कब किसका बात लग जाए, है ना। किसी कोई तकलीफ में और किसी की कोई बात लग जाए और एकदम सच हो जाए कि भाई चलो अच्छा है, कोई उसका कल्याण हो जाए। तो इसीलिए बोलते हैं अब आओ मंदिर आओ, कथा करो, सुनो, ये सब करो। प्रभुपाद एक बार ड्राइविंग कर रहे थे, उनका डिसाइपल कार चला रहा था और डॉक्टर्स के बारे में बात कर रहा था। एलोपैथी ट्रीटमेंट ऐसा होता है, होम्योपैथी ट्रीटमेंट ऐसा होता है, और वो गाड़ी का ब्रेक फेल हो गया है ना। पुराने जमाने में बहुत कॉमन था ये चीजें। दोज डेज इट वाज वेरी कॉमन दैट brakes used to fail. And Prabhupada was going and this brake failed, and luckily those days traffic used to not be there too much on the road. Somehow or the other, the disciple here and there took it on that kind of tilt and hit a boulder and stopped. But that boulder was on the edge of the cliff. So the car just got up to the boulder and stopped. It was on the edge of the cliff. So then Prabhupada was speaking. Prabhupada was listening till then. Allopathy is good, homeopathy is good, and they said, now which pati has come to save you? Your homeopathy, your allopathy has come to save you? It is only Tirupati who has come to save you, because they were going in the south only. So it is only Tirupati who has come to save you. So how do we get the blessings? In what form? We do not know. And that is what her wife is asking, go and meet Shripati. Huh? So Tirupati, on Janmashtami, they spent almost 8 crores on the dress of the Lord. Okay? People spoke too much on the papers. ये वेस्ट कर दिया मनी, अस्पताल खड़े कर देते थे, ये खड़े कर देते थे, वो खड़े कर देते थे, ऐसा बहुत कुछ आया था पेपरों में। 8 करोड़ का ड्रेस, डायमंड स्टडेड एंड ऑल दोस। उस जमाने में, मैं अभी की बात नहीं, थोड़े पहले की बात बोल रहा हूं। और at the same time in England, probably Prabhu will know, in England a jewelry designer made a tiara crown. It's a specific, a worth 75 crore that time. So a tiara crown worth 75 crore. So, and it was for whom?
Queen.
Hmm?
For the queen.
No.
For Krishna in what form?
No.
No.
For the dog. There was a talk in the town, you can, I don't know, you can see. So 75 crores, tiara for the dog, who doesn't know the value of it also, putting on his head, and for the dog, for the pet dog. So for God, God, they make big hue and cry, and for the DOG, they don't want to make any hue and cry. कहाँ 8 करोड़ और कहाँ 75 करोड़? So that is why, sometimes हुआ एक बार ये भी था, तिरुपति की बात निकली है, तो तिरुपति में people only not only give Lakshmi but also give gold, silver, whatever they want to, diamond they want to donate, they donate, right, into the hundi. That's famous. और पूरा ऐसा बहुत समय लगता है, आपको एक्स्ट्रा लड्डू मिलेगा अगर आप अपना समय देकर भगवान की लक्ष्मी काउंटिंग करते हैं तो, है ना। दैट इज वन ऑफ द रूल देयर, दैट यू आर फ्री, you want to do some seva to the Lord, please count Lord's Lakshmi, because कॉइन्स तो शायद मशीन से हो जाते हैं, बट नोट्स को काउंट करना पड़ता है, एक दूसरे से चिपकी रहती है, तो काउंट करने के आपको 2 लड्डू एक्स्ट्रा मिलते थे, है ना। तो लोग करते भी है, तो चांस मिलता है तो करना ही चाहिए अगर। उसके अंदर एक जो सो कॉल्ड डिवोटी, बिकॉज वो जो दर्शन करने गया था, तो वो नोट वगैरह जब खाली होती है, हुंडी बड़ी बड़ी ऐसा पूरे थैले के थैले खाली होते हैं, जब उसमें से एक डायमंड की स्टडेड एक गोल्ड अंगूठी एक जने को मिली, एंड इतने कैमरे लगे रहते हैं, सब कुछ लगे रहते हैं, स्टिल दैट पर्सन while काउंटिंग could flick it in his pocket. देखो, किसी का भगवान की सेवा करने का भाव नहीं रहता है, अब जाके वहां पे टाइम पास करने का भाव रहता है, तो ये सब होते हैं। टाइम पास के लिए नहीं, सेवा के हिसाब से जाना चाहिए। आप लोगों ने सबने जगन्नाथ यात्रा कितनी सेवा की थी, और वही गुरु महाराज से आशीर्वाद भी आया है ना। तो सेवा दिल से कीजिए, आशीर्वाद कहाँ आएगा पता भी नहीं चलेगा। तो उसको लेकर, ऑफ कोर्स तिरुपति छोटा टाउन है, ही कैन नॉट सेल, ही वेंट टू चेन्नई, ही वाज फ्रॉम चेन्नई, but Chennai also people, he did not find that kind of jewelry being bought, because that was a good diamond. They said, we cannot buy this, it's a costly one, nobody here will take. Big market of diamond is Gujarat or Bombay, you go there. He says, okay, I'll go to Bombay. And he goes to Bombay and goes to Tribhuvandas Bhimji Jewelers, huh? TBZ Jewelry, that's why I referred to this. So TBZ Jewelry जाता है और फिर उसको बोलता है कि भाई ये बेचना है, तो बोलते हैं ओके बैठो, बेच सकते हो। वो लेता है, सब करता है वेरीफाई, फिर उसको बिठाता है, कोल्ड ड्रिंक, यू नो they will receive you very nicely if you go to TPZ and you know this big Tata's showrooms and all those, because all their cost will get added up to the making charges. So he called the police and he was arrested. He said, why? Because this is a specific diamond ring which the Bhuamdas Bhimji himself dropped into the hundi when he went to Tirupati. That is a real story. That's a real story in India. So, जा के पास उसी के पास गया, तो वो तो पहचानेंगे अपनी चीज, खुद के मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की चीज है, वो सब मार्क देखते हैं समय ना, माइन्यूट रहता है, आप हॉल मार्क देखते हो, सब देखते हो, उसे पहचान सकते हो। So then he was arrested. From where did you bring it? This was given to Tirupati. How did it get to you? Then he has to confess, I flicked it. Then go to jail. So Sudama's wife said, go to this Shripati. Then Sudama said, he is not my friend, he is my lord. He is my lord. She's okay. You don't want to go as a friend? Then go as a Brahmana, because he is Go Brahmana Itayacha. He is a lord, you say, right? He is your lord. Then he is Go Brahmana Itayacha. He is favorable to the cows and Brahmanas, and you are a Brahmana. We already read that quality. So go to him as a Go Brahmana Itayacha. That's what in the starting shloka Sri says all this. Ki, what she says? Nanu Brahman, huh? Nanu Brahman Bhagavata Sakha. So now Brahmanascha Sharanyascha. So all those she speaks. So go as a Brahmana. He loves cows and Brahman. And maybe because he loves cows and Brahman goes, and what will the king do? He is a Dwarikapati. What will he do? He'll give dakshina. कोई भी ब्राह्मण को खाली नहीं जाने देते, राइट? किंग्स दक्षिणा देगा आपको, तो दक्षिणा लेके आई, कोई बात नहीं। So then she says, like, of course, like Brahmana is a person who lives with the God, like on the basis of principles and all. Of course, we have today many Brahmanas who are from Janam se Brahmana. We are not talking of those. We already discussed that. So, he will give you, you go there. Then he says, okay, Baba, I am not that Brahmana, that pure Brahmana also. मैं इतना बड़ा पंडित नहीं हूं, मैं तो एक पोंगा पंडित हूं. He is a Brahmavitta, but he is calling himself a पोंगा पंडित. पोंगा means पोंगा पंडित, like महाराष्ट्र very famous होते हैं ये पोंगे, जिसको बोलते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं वो गोल गोल पापड़ होते हैं ना, बीच में होल, वो जो उंगलियों में लेके बच्चे ऐसा, पोंगा बोलते हैं उसको, है ना? येलो कलर के, बचपन में बहुत ऐसा हाथ में लेके एक एक खाते थे फिर. पोंगा बोलते हैं उसको. तो पोंगा पंडित हूं मैं, तो बोले। तो पोंगा पंडित तो बोले हाँ, बोले क्योंकि वो बात कुछ और होती है दिखाने के मतलब के ना, वो जो ब्राह्मण के क्वालिफिकेशंस होते हैं, मैं तो कोई क्वालिफिकेशन भी नहीं हूँ। और वो हर टाइप का रीजन देना चाहता है, दैट आई डू नॉट वांट टू गो। Sudama finds said, okay, all right, you are not a brahmana, you are a ponga brahmana, okay, पंडित नहीं हो, पोंगा पंडित हो, कोई बात नहीं, आपका फ्रेंड तो है, आपका फ्रेंड तो है। फ्रेंडशिप में कौन फ्रेंड्स को मना करता है? आजकल तो वो भी हो गए चेंज, जजमेंटल। तो ही इज योर फ्रेंड, एटलीस्ट यू शुड गो एंड मीट एज ए फ्रेंड। वी हैव रीयूनियंस टुडे। 1985 का बैच का रीयूनियन हुआ था, जब मैं यहाँ जेद्दा में आया था उसी महीने था। मैं बोला ले, तो आई कुड नॉट मीट एनीवे, बट वी वर देयर ऑन दैट। सो you both have studied together in Avantipur, which is today Ujjain. So, you have studied together. So, he is very good friend. So, go there as a friend, and Krishna will be very, very happy. Your Krishnasya Sakha. So, he will be more willing to give, because as Krishna's Sakha, you are his devotee. You are said, he is my Lord, then you are his devotee. So, she will be more happy for Krishnasya Sakha. So at least you should go for this. He'll be more happy. हम भक्त पराधीनो, कृष्णा says. So भक्त जाएंगे तो कृष्ण बहुत खुश होंगे। तो बोलते नहीं 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 नहीं, वो बोलने की बात होती है। डिवोटी ऑफ द लॉर्ड अलग चीज होती है। मैं इतना नहीं कर सकता हूँ, है ना। मैं 16 माला कर लूँ तो बहुत है, मैं थोड़ा सा रीडिंग कर लूँ तो बहुत है, लेकिन मैं इतना प्योर नहीं हूँ, है ना। अपने वैसे भी भक्त बोलते हैं ऐसा, है ना। मैंने अभी भी सुना था एक भक्त से। तो it is true. Devotee will never say, I am a devotee. That is true. Others will have to say, he is a devotee. Devotee will never say he is a devotee. He will never show up. But others would like to say he is a devotee. So someone who is shallow will say, I am a devotee. And people have to understand me. Look how much into devotion I am. They will be shallow. An actual devotee, he will never show up. Srila Prabhupada once, he used to write a lot of question answers, you remember, like when people used to write, because those days there was not phone call, so people used to write letters and he used to reply also by letters. So one person wrote, I'm trying to be a good devotee, crying for you, Prabhupada, and all those. Srila Prabhupada immediately wrote correction. And he said, right, I am a good servant of the Lord and ready to serve you. Never write, I am a good devotee. Including our acharyas have never said that, we are a good devotee. We are servants of the Lord. राधा पद कमलयोर दास दास दासानो दास। हम लोग उस कैटेगरी में आते हैं, दास के दास के दास के दास के दास, क्योंकि गुरु महाराज भी दास थे, हम भी दास है, आगे उनके पहले भी उनके गुरु महाराज भी दास थे, उनके गुरु महाराज भी दास थे, ऐसा दास दासानो दास, ये हमारा भाव है। इंक्लूडिंग पीपल इन वृंदावन, Radha Rani, Madhumangal, all Krishna's friends, they are also his devotees. They are also his servants. Of course, they are serving in friendship mode. So finally, Sudama's wife said, okay, even if you are not a devotee, still you go there, because Dwarika has lot of Vrishnis. उसमें वर्ड आया था ना, एक वृष्णीज। द्वारका में कई वृष्णीज है, यादव्स है, हाँ। और ये लोगों के पास दूध दही बोलते, दे आर ऑल बिजनेसमैन। बिजनेसमैन थोड़े रिच होते हैं ना, बस। हाँ, वृष्णी खानदान बोलते हैं, इनके मदर के साइड का, यादवों के मदर्स के साइड का परिवार वृष्णीज है। वार्ष्णेय हम लोग जब डिस्क्राइब किए थे भगवद गीता के सारे परिवारों को डिस्क्राइब कर रहे थे तब। सो वृष्णि परिवार है और ये यदुवंशी परिवार है, ये आपको कुछ ना कुछ दे ही देंगे। इवन कृष्णा ने यदि कुछ नहीं दिया तो भी ये लोग बिजनेसमैन है। कोई आया है ब्राह्मण या कोई आया है उनके द्वार पे, विजिटर उनको कुछ ना कुछ दे देंगे. You have to go. That's how determined way she is. Somehow the other convincing his husband. ना एक एक word डाल के. So even if Krishna does not look at you, at least the devotees will look at you. And if devotees also looks at you, you will be blessed with prosperity. They have that power. Even Krishna cannot give, their devotees will give you. And we have read the story already. We have described the story while our Bhagavad Gita classes. Krishna's devotee helped one asura and saved him from Krishna. कुछ याद आया? कुछ याद आता है?
Saved from Krishna.
Saved from Krishna. अर्जुना
एकादशी एकादशी का नाम
नहीं एकादशी नहीं. अर्जुन की शरण ले लिया वो. अर्जुन भक्त है ना. हाँ, अर्जुन की शरण ले लिया था. नॉट रिकलेक्टिंग. मैं दानव. जब खांडव प्रस्थ वन मिला था, इंद्रप्रस्थ का जब डिवीजन हुआ तो खांडव प्रस्थ, इंद्रप्रस्थ नाम नहीं था पहले, खांडव प्रस्थ का, हस्तिनापुर का जब डिवीजन हुआ तो खांडव प्रस्थ का नाम की जगह पांडवों को दे दी गई थी. एंड हाउ वाज दैट खांडव प्रस्थ? लॉट ऑफ ऑफकोर्स खांडव प्रस्थ वन में खूब स्नेक्स थे. पथरीली जगह, बहुत ऐसा उबड़ खाबड़ जगह ऐसे थी. इट वाज लाइक अनइवन विद लॉट ऑफ boulders and everything and lot of snakes. So Arjuna and Krishna were sitting on that Khandav forest, and there Agni Dev comes, who becomes very pale. Why? He says, today I've been having the offerings in the yajna. So much of ghee was poured in the yajna that I am unable to digest now. I have become pale, right? So much of yajna ghee or ahuti was given so that I have become pale. So I want to get okay. How will I get okay? If I have this Khandav वन की जड़ी बूटियां अगर मैं खाऊं तो मैं ठीक हो सकता हूं. But the problem with this Khandav one is Takshak is the protector of this one. The moment, if I have to eat, I have to blaze the fire. So the entire vanaspati I have to engulf into the fire. But Takshak is a very good friend of Indra. Immediately Indra forces rain and the fire gets extinguished. So I am unable to eat the herbs. Then Krishna says, he's Arjuna, he can help you out. So Arjuna says, yes, okay. So you want to have that jadi buti? Okay, I will create a shield. So he creates with the arrows, he creates a shield पूरा, और वो इंद्र बरसात करता भी है तो वो शील्ड वहीं रोक देती है उसको. And the Khandav one is devoured by Agni. And when our Agni devours the forest, all the snakes start running, right? And Takshak was that time outside. We heard that story. But one of his uncle, Mlāyatā was there, guarding his home. Mlāyatā came running to Krishna. He knew Krishna is not going to help me because he was a Mayasur already. He had a fight with Krishna before. He is not going to save. He is not going to listen me. Cunningly, what did he do? He came to the shelter of Arjuna. You are my protector. Please protect me. I don't want to get killed. I came here for a visit to my, snake friend Takshaka, but he wasn't there. I was in his house. You don't kill me. At least save me. Then Krishna says, he's come to your surrender. I am going to kill him. But he's come to your surrender. So you decide. Then Arjuna says, no, we'll save him because he was a visitor, Atithi Devo Bhava. We should bless them. So we should bless. अब bless करना है तो कृष्णा बोलता है, okay, you have decided, I will go with you because whatever you desire, I will sanction. So then Arjuna कि शेल्टर लेके ही गेट्स सेव्ड. ओके, सो मोर अर्जुना बिकेम मोर पावरफुल देन कृष्णा, है ना. हम भक्त पराधीन हो, इसलिए कृष्ण बोलते हैं भक्त यदि कुछ बोलेगा तो मैं कर दूंगा. तो अर्जुन ने उसको बचाया, और वो कृष्ण को रिक्वेस्ट किया अर्जुन ने कि छोड़ दो, तो छोड़ दिया. तो बाद में फिर कृष्ण ने बोला वो तुमने उसका इतना हेल्प किया, अब उससे भी हेल्प ले लो. तो क्या हेल्प लिया फिर उन्होंने? अग्निदेव ने तो रथ देके चले गए थे. अग्निदेव रथ, और वो दैट नेवर एंडिंग तरकश देके गए थे. बट मैदानव ने क्या किया? पैलेस बनवाया इंद्रप्रस्थ का, जो माया पैलेस जो है ना, माया पैलेस मैदानव ने बनवाया था. सो जिसमें वो दुर्योधन गिर के फिर द्रौपदी का हंसना और फिर ये महाभारत का युद्ध होना, है ना. अंधे का पुत्र. तो कहने का तात्पर्य है कि लाइक मैं फिर वो चीज मैदानव ने की थी, तो अर्जुन ने उसको बचा लिया. सो दिस वे शी सेज दैट इवन इफ यू गो देयर, मे बी द डिवोटीज, you yourself, you are calling now, you are not a devotee, but there are Vrishnis and Yadavas there who will bless you. So even they bless you, you will become flourished. So at least go for this sake. So this is the third step of the story. Okay, so we will continue this story, and then it is contemplation of Sudama. Of course, we will complete that, try to as soon as possible. It's already one, because if that we take up, it will take thoda long time. So I don't want you to. So किसी का कोई doubts है ये है तो आप doubts ले सकते हैं. Because everything is related to our principles in life, what we have to follow. Hmm.
Sudama was strapped with daridraṁ.
Yeah, that also will come through. Don't worry. Going forward, when they recollect their days and all those will come.
प्रभु जी
श्रापित नहीं, but it's okay. That's a भाव, वो ये ना वो मन में छुपाने का भाव आता है, तो ठीक है. Welcome to that, bro. We'll come to that. Don't worry. That's also will come. So that is where I divided into 9. ना this ये जो story है 9 भागों में डिस्कस करेंगे. हरे कृष्णा. तो जितने में जन्माष्टमी आ ही जाती है. हरी.
प्रभु जी
यस प्रभु.
ये सुदामा तो वो बड़ा भक्त थे कृष्ण जी का.
हाँ.
तो कृष्ण जी को सब तो मालूम था, सब
हाँ ना.
मतलब कितना दिन है, कितना प्रे कर रहा है, उनका वाइफ भी प्रे कर रहा है, बच्चा लोग भी प्रे कर रहा है. तो कुछ हेल्प क्यों नहीं कर रहा है?
हेल्प क्यों नहीं? चला के क्यों करेगा? आप डिजायर करेगा तो सैंक्शन करेगा ना कृष्णा.
तो उनका वाइफ तो डिजायर था.
हाँ, तो इसलिए तब जाएगा ना. अब जाएगा ना, इसीलिए तो वाइफ का डिजायर आया तभी तो हो जाएगा. नेक्स्ट फ्राइडे जाएगा. सोचेगा और जाएगा.
पहले भी तो उनको चाहिए था ना.
नहीं, जरूरी नहीं है ना प्रभु. जरूरी नहीं है ना. हर कोई अपना अपना कर्म करता है.
ये सुनो आप कॉन्सेप्ट, मेन कॉन्सेप्ट को भूल जाता है. मतलब क्या है ना, वो ऑलरेडी डिवोटी है. जो डिवोटी मतलब सैक्रिफाइस एवरीथिंग, यू डोंट नीड एनीथिंग.
इसलिए
जैसे नहीं आप
क्वालिटीज पहले इसीलिए डिस्कस किया. विरक्त इंद्रियार्थेषु, विरक्त इंद्रियार्थेषु पिछली बार डिस्कस किए थे ना. क्या था? डिजायर्स नहीं है कुछ भी.
उसका तो डिजायर नहीं है,
लेकिन पत्नी का था. वो ऐसे मरते हुए देख नहीं सकती थी.
सक्सेसफुल पति के पीछे पत्नी का ही इसमें.
हरि बोल. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. हरे कृष्ण.